Hello and welcome to the Power Life Podcast. I'm your host, Sabina Schöpke, serial entrepreneur, philanthropist, iron sister, and badass manifester. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of gelato with a shot of whiskey, fueling your week with empowering and exciting insights into your mind to help you create massive success in your life. So let's dig in. Let's talk mindset, manifestation, and money. Hello and welcome to the Power Life Podcast. I'm your host, Sabina Schöpke, and I would like to welcome you to the very first edition of the Power Life Podcast. Shea Smith, an American rapper from Chicago, once said, "True power is the power to empower others." I am super excited to finally be doing this podcast. I've been told many times to do a podcast to inspire and empower others. Of course, I've been full of self-doubt, but as you can see, I've gotten over myself and I've finally hit that record button. The Power Life Podcast is as much about how to live a vibrational high kind of a life, so simply a happy life, as much as it is about empowering others. At this point, I feel it is my obligation to share what I know in order to empower others to make their lives better. The other day, my coach said it beautifully. He said, "You are actually committing a crime if you don't empower and help others with the things that you know." I agree with him. I think we have a moral obligation to share our gifts. So let's get started. Life is messy, and it does not get any less messy as you get older. As a matter of fact, advanced age does not automatically mean that you're figuring it out. Life experiences alone are not enough to make life better or more enjoyable. The thing that trips me out is how many people pretend like they got it all figured out. And I don't know about you, but for the longest time, I felt like I was missing something. I felt like there was something wrong with me. Why was I struggling with life? What did they know that I didn't? The truth is, though, they don't have it figured out either. They're just very selective on what they share, especially on social media, where everything is picture perfect. Happy, shiny people. The difference is, though, compared to my ego today, their egos don't give them permission to be publicly messy or vulnerable. On the other hand, there are a lot of people out there silently struggling. We know they exist, right? And they're just like you and I. I have spent most of my life trying to find the secret to being happy, the secret to not hurting, to not feeling lonely, insecure, abandoned, depressed, or anxious. I attended churches, workshops, visited healers, traveled to some of the most remote corners of the world. I read a ton of self-help books. I cried it out. I tried to laugh it away. I threw myself into work. I tried to drown it out with alcohol. All of it helped a little. Most of it was temporary. Most of it just covered up the mess. But some actually got me a little closer to the truth. And that's the part I want to share. So, what is the truth? And this is what I know so far. There's good news, and there's bad news. The bad news is, nobody will ever figure it out. Life's like a video game. You master one level, you level up, and there is life throwing you another curveball, hilariously laughing at you saying, "And now what you gonna do about this one, bitch?" There will always be more levels. The game of life keeps on giving. It is an endless loop with more curveballs, more shitstorms. The finish line will keep on moving forward, further into the distance as we progress. It's pretty cruel, and nobody will ever arrive. But hold on. There is good news. The good news is we can actually make the game of life an amazing ride. See, just saying that makes me smile. I'm sure you can hear that. So once we accept the bad news that we will never figure it out, that we will never arrive, we can learn the tools to navigate those curveballs and dodge those bullets. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I promise you that I will share with you all that I have learned and that has made my life so much more enjoyable. I will give you the cliff notes of all that has proven itself to be actually working. Throughout my experiences and growth, I have developed a technique for myself called Radical Mindset Transformation Technique, or RMTT. I have put it to the test for years, and I am the walking testimony that it works. I will keep referring to this technique in upcoming episodes, and you can hands-on apply it to your own life. You can also find it on my website at thepowerlifecoach.com. You might say, why is it relevant what you have learned? I don't know you. A lot of tools like mindfulness practices, meditation, affirmations, visualizations, and other forms of self-reflection and personal growth are readily available online and in books. I don't have to listen to you. And you're absolutely right. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Germany. Did you guess my accent? Anyways, I did not grow up with any of those tools. No mindset tools, no spiritual tools. I was brought up very German, very grounded. I left Germany on my own when I was 17 and moved to Canada. I experienced a lot of life, from being completely broke multiple times, homeless, all kinds of abuses and traumatic events, to living a life of beautiful abundance, joy, and lots of inner peace. The one thing that I can tell you right now is that anybody who is promising you this secret, an easy solution for happiness, is lying. All of my success, my happiness, peace, joy, and bliss have come from within me. And my not-so-secret weapon is undoubtedly mindset transformation. I am a big believer that you can achieve anything with the right mindset. It's not an easy, but a simple concept. I believe that we experience challenges not only to make us stronger, but to then in return help others. Danny Morell recently said it beautifully. God needs helpers. That's when you truly step into the power of love. It is time for me to give back, and that's my mission here on this podcast, to share my experiences and tools with you. How I applied them and created a pretty freaking awesome life, despite experiencing things that have destroyed many before me. I see it this way. Imagine a big pile of building materials, and you're supposed to build a house. Mindset and spiritual concepts and tools are those building materials. Without instructions or a contractor, most of us would have a hell of a time building this house. I think it would take years of trial and error, and over probably 90% of us would eventually give up. I've built a few houses in my lifetime. So let me help you make sense of the mess that's in front of you. And let's build your dream home, or in this case, your dream life. We are really not meant to do this alone. Being guided, being in community, and sharing our stories of pain and suffering, but more importantly, how we overcame those challenges is so, so powerful. Sharing our stories and the human connection that comes from that is what will not only speed up the process for you, but increase your chances of hitting the freaking jackpot, of achieving massive fulfillment, massive success, and ultimately living your dream life. And it will make the process much more enjoyable. In German, we have a saying, a trouble shared is a trouble halved. Isn't it true that life feels a little lighter when you're in the company of others who support you or who can empathize with you? It makes you feel less alone. And by learning how others have overcome and grown in similar situations, there's a light that's guiding you through the darkness and the storm. It gives you faith and clarity and helps you find your way. And most importantly, it shows you that if it worked for them, it can definitely work for you. I feel like it turns hope into faith. So really, this podcast is about sharing our stories, the good, the amazing, and incredible ones, as well as the bad and the very ugly ones, making ourselves vulnerable as well as sharing our victories. So, really going on this journey together so we can all grow and expand together. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today on my very first recorded episode. It wasn't so bad, was it? I really enjoyed sharing, and I am so excited to hang out with you again next week. We will talk about all the tips, tricks, and hacks that you can possibly apply to your lives, and hopefully it will be insightful and entertaining for you. And remember, it is your responsibility to share your stories, insights, and gifts with others. I know I'll be learning tons from you, and my life will be so much better for it. So kindly drop me a line, comment, like, and share below. Let's stand in our true power to empower others.
Join our life-transforming membership program to achieve your most ambitious goals by breaking through limiting beliefs and developing empowering habits. Our program is not just motivational speeches or self-help books, but a comprehensive system that has helped thousands of people overcome obstacles, build confidence, and create lasting change. With our program, you don't need expensive one-on-one coaching. It covers various areas such as relationships, productivity, well-being, and income. It's complemented by our podcast to give you even more insights and inspiration on the go. Visit thepowerlifecoach.com now and start living the life and dreams you deserve with our program.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. I hope you had as much fun listening as I did recording. I would love to hear from you, so drop me a line. Oh yeah, and don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Until next time, be curious, kick some ass, and may your explorations bring you joy. Talk with you soon.